Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Power BI PL-300 exam series on episode number 25. This is your host, Apka Consultant, bringing you today's episode on the topic import versus direct query in Power BI desktop. So, those of you who have not watched this series, I request you to go through the playlist. The link will pop up right here, where all the previous 24 episodes are covered, in which latest trending topics on this prestigious exam of Power BI data analyst are covered. So, I will request you to go through that playlist. So, yeah, that being said, let's jump to question number 25. It says to ensure that the Power BI report reflects changes made to the source data in real time, the connection to a SQL Server database should be configured as dash, and any transformations should be applied directly in the dash to avoid import delays. So the options are: first section direct query, second section database. Option B, first section import, second section Power Query editor. Option C, first section live connection, second section SQL Server Management Studio SSMS. Option D, first section is direct query, second section is Power Query editor. So you have to select the correct option, which is basically fill in the blanks as given in the question. I'm going to pause the video here for 10 seconds. Your time starts now. So yeah, time is up. Let's see what is the solution. So basically it's option A, because for SQL servers we would leverage direct query because there are millions of roles. Also it creates a live connection with the database, right? And second option is database. So direct query is different than live connection. We will see that in the upcoming videos, but today we will just look at difference between import versus direct query. So yeah, this covers this question. Let's look at the overall explanation. So yeah, this slide talks about why option one is correct. You can go through the direct query mode because we can obviously there are some restrictions to it. You cannot apply time intelligence calculations. Also, complex tags are not available, but still it's a chosen method for SQL Server database, as you are directly connecting to the database, right? Instead of storing and increasing the size of the Power BI report. So yeah, that's on slide one. On the next slide, obviously it talks about why other options are incorrect, where import, live, and direct query are used, and obviously why you would not want your, for example, in live connection is a term more commonly associated with analysis services rather than an SQL Server database connection, right? And so hence it's not directly rated how Power BI connects data to data sources for live connection. So we leverage only the direct query mode. So yeah, this covers the explanation bit. Let's look at the resources. So yeah, as again, I am currently completing this course on Udemy called Microsoft Power BI Data Analyst, specifically for PL-300 certification exam. There are two articles, one on Microsoft Learn, one a simple blog, specifically talking about import versus direct query. So now let's jump and look at the blogs and articles. So yeah, the first block is obviously talking about Powered BI import versus direct query. You can go through this link. I will also paste it in the channel as well video for specific this video. I'm also, whichever resources I'm leveraging in preparing, I'm putting this in the video description so you can also prepare. This article talks about modes of connectivity. For example, any visual you can create in Power BI. In Power Query you can make those transformation, you can connect a database, and then DAX obviously, as illustrated from this picture, DAX is the brains, right? And in import mode you just power visual is connected to Power BI by database. And this is a difference table which talks about differences in import versus direct query. For example, in refresh schedule, in import mode specifically, users have option to set automatic refresh, and for direct query there is no need to refresh schedule because since the data is directly stored in model, so concept of scheduling refresh is not applicable as data is directly fetched from the servers, right? Another differences can be in terms of RLS import. Mode supports RLS. Direct also supports RLS, but proper care needs to be taken since it might use service accounts to connect to database, right? So yeah, this article in long talks about major differences, and obviously there are some challenges to direct query mode. For example, in many scenarios, like for example, there if it's a long connection time to database, and also there are time intelligence calculations where import mode is preferred over direct query, because in direct query you cannot perform those DAX having involved time intelligence calculations like running total or EA till date. So that is not available. So yeah, this covers this topic, and let's quickly look at the Microsoft Learn article. So basically this article talks about the how to connect data in Power BI desktop. You open the desktop, you launch the desktop, this is the view you will get, right? And you can click on get data, and that this is where you get different sources, databases you can connect to. The list will open up. I will also walk you through in Power BI desktop just for an example, and how you can connect to Excel database, and how the preview will look like, what is the view pane, what is the field pane. So yeah, this covers this article. Let's jump to Power BI desktop. So as I was explaining, this is Power BI desktop software. You have this option of get data. If you click on get data, you get this option of common data sources which are available, right? For example, Excel workbook, Power BI semantic models, data flows, Dataverse, SQL server, and so on. You have this option of more. If you click on it, the comprehensive list of data sources are available in the bucket form. For example, this is all. If you go to file, these are available. Databases, these are available. SQL, IBM, Oracle, Microsoft Fabric is available. Power Platform is available. Azure online services. So yeah, you can connect any database. I think it's out there through Power BI and creates those visualization. For example, if I go to file, let me select Excel and connect. Let me select an Excel file. Let's select employee, open. So it will connect this file to Power BI. This is the preview tab. This is how the data is going to look like. And you can either load or transform. So if you are transforming, you are performing some of the operations why before loading, right? If you're directly loading, you're not transforming directly. So yeah, these are the options we get while connecting to a database. Hope you followed this topic and like this content, and I will see you on to the next one. Thank you for watching.